Overcommitting could be draining your energy. Here's how to say no without feeling bad about it. One of the challenges that can come up on the fatigue recovery journey is that we have to learn to reset our boundaries with other people. It may be that one of the factors in us getting overloaded and crashing in the first place may be that we have some kind of helper or people-pleasing pattern. It can also be what's called a fawning pattern, which is a trauma response where we've learned that the way that we find safety is by being hyper attuned to and taking care of everyone else's needs. And this can be particularly challenging on the fatigue recovery journey because we can feel a lot of guilt for the things that we can't do for other people that we love, that we care about, or maybe we feel responsible for. And because we can no longer do all of those things we used to do, we start to feel more and more guilty and uncomfortable about it. But here's the thing. When we are constantly taking care of everyone else, we are ignoring our own body. That may mean that our body says, I need to stop, I need to rest, and we're just constantly pushing through. Part of our healing journey is getting to the point that we are building consistently more energy than we're spending. That means we have to be disciplined about where our energy is spent. Ultimately, to say yes to ourselves, we have to learn how to say no to other people. Now, that may mean in the short term, there are more extremes to that, right? Maybe we had a point where we were giving out constantly. Now we can't really give out at all. Doesn't mean it's always going to be like that, but learning how to find a place of comfort with this difference is going to be really important in the future. When I'm working with patients, I'm not just thinking about how do we help this person recover. I'm also thinking about what are the deeper lessons that we need to learn here to avoid relapse in the future. And what can happen is people are forced into a crash. They can't take care of others and they can't do their helper people-pleasing patterns. Energy starts to come back and then they go back into those patterns and they crash again. So really breaking these patterns is important. And sometimes what that means in the short term is a little bit like a pendulum that swung too far one way. It needs to overswing in the other direction to then come back to find a point of balance. Now, ultimately, we teach people how to treat us. And if we've got lots of relationship dynamics where we are constantly rescuing and taking care of everyone else, it's going to take some time to reset those boundaries, to teach people a different way of being in relationship with us. And if you can learn to do that, all of that energy you're giving out is energy that becomes available for your healing and energy that becomes available for you in your life. It can take some time. Sometimes when we put boundaries in place, the other person can escalate their behavior to try and pull us back into the way we were before. So we have to stay strong and we have to, in a way, grow that muscle of short-term discomfort with the fact that we're outside of our comfort zone to create a new pattern of behavior. I think sometimes what can happen is we end up overthinking it. We try to over-justify our needs to other people, and it's almost like the more we do that, the more vulnerable we feel, and the more likely we are to get pulled back into those old dynamics. So it can be as simple as saying, thank you for the invite, or thank you for asking. Right now, I'm focusing on my physical healing, and that means I'm having to be really careful what I commit to. It can be as simple as that. Now, if it's something you actually really want to do, you just don't have the energy right now, you may follow that on with something like, but I really wish I was able to say yes, and please do invite me again in the future, because this is something that I would love to be able to do. Keeping it simple, not having too much explanation, not having too many words, too much kind of self-defense, often makes it more effective. So we deliver that boundary and then be gentle with yourself. You will likely feel uncomfortable. Your inner critic might come in, start beating you up. But if we can practice doing this, we can normalize and we can find ourselves feeling entirely comfortable giving these boundaries to other people. Let me know in the comments below this video what's helped you in setting boundaries. What are some of the boundaries that you needed to set? And I think it's helpful then to learn from each other. I hope this video has been helpful. Thank you for watching.